Here we go. Stand by. 3, 2.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, renter, seasoned investor, or looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, but with my attorney advice throughout the way. If you have any questions whatsoever, I have people standing by right now to answer them. The number is on the screen, 407-205-0400. If you want to start your house hunt this weekend, you will need to get pre-approved, and you can do that by calling that very same phone number, 407-205-0400. Great show for you today. You will not want to miss one single minute. But first, the opening statement. The opening statement today is brought to you by my good friend Stephen Bader with IQ Power Solar. As you know, I went solar last year, and I love it. I used to pay $500 a month for my electricity bill. Now, $50 a month. And those electric companies do not have me right where they want me anymore. I have them where I want them. Stephen Bader, tell me how we did it. U-Haul. You know U-Haul, that moving company. They've released its annual one-way rental migration study, and the numbers, they are absolutely staggering. People are leaving in droves from New Jersey, from New York, and from California. Guess where they're going, guys? They're coming here. They're also going to Texas and Tennessee, but they're going to Florida as well. And it's really surprising if you think about it because, we understand Jersey and New York. We get all that. But California is beautiful. They Hotel California. California Love by Tupac. California is a beautiful place, 75 degrees every day. It's shocking, right, that people are leaving? Not really. Look at the political climate there. Look at the taxes there. But do you think California people are moving to Nebraska? I don't think so. California people want beaches. They want great weather. That's why California people, even though it's across the country, are moving to Florida, which makes me incredibly bullish on what's happening in the real estate market in Florida. And I get the counter argument all the time. It's Justin, the prices are up 20%, 30% over the last year. They're going to have to come down. We're going to have a crash like 2008. I totally disagree with that. In fact, this pandemic has turbocharged the migration of people to Florida, which has turbocharged our at least residential real estate market here. And I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Now, Tesla, am I bullish on Tesla this year? I don't think so. What's going on politically? I get nervous with the stock market this year. Am I nervous about the real estate market in Florida this year? Absolutely not. In fact, I would bet my house on it. And I'm going to tell you why. And we'll do so by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, we ask real questions to Central Florida's truly trend-setting people. Today on the program, pleased to welcome back Dallas Lehman with You Have Mortgage and a new visitor, just meeting him, J.R. Steinbauer with Steinbauer Associates.
Yes, sir.
You're going to give me a card. It's in the car.
Yeah.
I would have screwed that up. Welcome. JR, let me start with you, buddy. Thank you for coming up. Miami. You're from Miami, right?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Joe, for having me on.
How does the market here compare to Miami? Because, we're all Floridians, of course, but Central Florida and South Florida are pretty different places, I would say. In Central Florida, I can tell you everything about the real estate market here. It's hot. What's going on in Miami?
Very strong. I do the industrial market. Do not specialize in the residential, but we do industrial, office, land. South Florida is really hot. It's crazy what we're seeing for land. Obviously, as Will Rogers said, they're not making any more of it. So at $35 a square foot on raw land, that's just crazy numbers. We're seeing, like you all are up here, a lot of the REITs building the big box warehouses, and it's great throughout the state.
I know I'm one of the people who migrated from Miami to Central Florida, as did this guy and our good friend Bill Gregory as well. I know a lot of people have made the move from South Florida to Central Florida, but is that something that we see quite a bit? Are you still seeing people move from South Florida up here to the Orlando area?
We see quite a bit, but with my market and industrial, we have an office in Lakeland, and we're seeing that the same people we work with in Miami are going up to the I-4 corridor for their distribution centers.
Well, let's just be honest. Do you guys think we're rednecks here or not?
Not me, let's see. No.
Remember,
No,
this
no, no. Hey,
this is on broadcast
Yeah.
television in the Orlando market.
Yeah.
I just want to give you a
No.
warning.
no.
Great answer.
It's
I know that
it is
you
Mickey World, but yeah.
you do a lot of property management as well, meaning you represent landlords and they have tenants, residential tenants who are in their properties. Are people paying their rent now?
Yeah, again, we're pretty much all industrial, and those are the properties that we manage.
I see.
We manage about 5 million square feet of office and industrial. And yeah, just I was talking to Dallas a little bit ago, and he was pretty amazed at how we were able, depending upon the landlord, how we were able to keep the tenants and how they were able to manufacture and modify their rents and defer the rent. Nobody really got free rent. You just took it by case, tenant by tenant.
So let me ask this too, and I think that first round of PPP is really analogous to my question. So the first round of PPP came out, and it was given to everyone essentially that was keeping people employed. So like some of these businesses were doing great during the pandemic and still got their PPP. Other businesses obviously struggling big time. Now, when you represent the landlord, okay, and that landlord has business tenants in there, did you find some of them who were just trying to take advantage of the pandemic and say, well, we can't pay our rent, even though they probably could? Did you see any of that out there?
We did, and in the same building, we had 30 different industrial tenants. One guy was in the food business. He did well, but on March 10th, he came to us and said, "Hey, you see what's going on? What's the landlord going to do for me?"
Yeah.
The end of March, he came to me and said, "Hey, is the space next door to us available? We need it." I'm like, "Why did you beg?"
Right.
Where there's a tenant directly across from them. They're in the laser show production. 80% of their income was cruise industry.
Wiped
They're still
out.
not going to see any money for another 6 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, we took it a case by case.
Certainly historic times, a historic pandemic that we've all had to navigate through. And let me bring in Dallas Lehman here as well, because when you talk about historic, and I know that you focus mostly on the residential market, whereas JR's in the commercial corporate world.
Right.
These rates, these interest rates right now, when someone's buying a house, they are historically low. How do the rates that we're seeing right now, I see low twos, mid twos at times, how do these rates compare in history?
Well, historically, we can go way back. I like to use the analogy, a real life circumstance. When I bought my first home in Miami, I was an executive. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loved my profile as a borrower. With everything, 780 credit score, reserves in the bank, steady employment, all that stuff, my first rate was, I believe, 9 3/8, which at the time, again, this was 1991. I said, this is the best rate. And by the way, that was bought down with a discount point, and I was happy to get it. So historically speaking, I've seen the highest rates. To Justin's question of what he's talking about today's historic rates, yes, we are in the twos currently and the low threes. I see that continuing, I'm happy to say. But with these low rates, Justin and everybody, the bottom line is this. When they're this low, they can only go one way, and that's they are going to go up eventually.
When do you think? Are we going to keep them low? And I know this is a tough question. I get it. You might not have a crystal ball, so to speak, but this year will they start creeping up? Next year? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Outstanding question. In my opinion, nobody has a crystal ball, but let's look at a few facts. The new administration just named Janet Yellen the Secretary, of Finance for the administration. Between the years of 2014 to 2018, she was the Fed chair. So she does have good background along the financial industry. She has pledged, and she wants to hold rates low. So to answer your question, when are they going to go up? I see them, there's also what's called, in my reports that I read, what's called a presidential bounce. Every time a new president takes office, that first quarter, there's usually a springboard of optimism and all the rest of it. So I see rates staying low for the first quarter. Will they tick up? Slightly, but to answer your question as specifically as I possibly can, they will start to rise, in my opinion, as we get toward the end of the first quarter.
I think if you're renting, it's really a scary proposition now, because I've even had some renters come to me and say, you know what, Justin, I'm going to wait till the rates go down a little bit further It's just a dumb way to look at life, in my opinion. I'm sorry. If you're renting right now, you can buy the exact same house you're renting. Let's say you're paying $2,000 in rent. If you were to buy it right now, I can almost guarantee you your mortgage payment, PITI, is going to be like $1,500. It's going to be less to own that house than it is to rent that house. And now you own it. You're not paying someone else's mortgage anymore. It's yours forever for as long as you want to live there. But it leads me to the next question, Dallas, especially for someone who might be a little bit scared of owning a piece of property. What percentage of my income do you think should go to my mortgage payment?
Well, that's a good question, but to answer that honestly, every part of that PI, principal and interest, is different as to the loan program that you apply for. Are you going to put 20% down so you don't have mortgage insurance? That helps determine your gross monthly income. Are you going to go with 3.5% down on an FHA loan? Again, now there are standard formulas that we work with in this industry, and for a conventional loan, you look for 28% on the front end of the gross monthly income, and as much as 36, 38, 41, depending on the loan program on the back end. So if you're looking for that, 28% is a good benchmark. But no, hey, new home buyers, Justin, you hit it. Why would anybody right now with the historic low rates, why would you even think of renting a home? Because I'm not going to say guarantee, that's not the word I'm going to use. In most cases, very, very strong right now to own that home and pay less than you're throwing your money away on rent with right now.
I totally agree. And the question a lot of people always ask is, well, how much home can I afford? $300,000, $400,000? It's really not about that asking price. It's really about your monthly payment, because you know exactly how much money's coming in. You have your gross monthly income, and then you have your net monthly income. You know what's coming in. How much of that can you afford to pay is really the bigger question. I mean, you're buying a payment. You're not buying $300,000. That's what is really important to you. And I think a rule of thumb, a lot of times you'll hear 25% to 33%. 25% is on the conservative side. But really, it's a matter of you sitting down and budgeting. Let's see, what is your credit card debt? What are your other expenses? What's your electricity bill? And it's good to do that anyway. I mean, it's really good to have a family budget so you know where your money's going. But to me, I'm comfortable at 25 to 30% of the gross monthly income. I think is affordable and probably where you should come in. You don't want to be house poor, for sure. You don't want to, I mean, you're going to love your house, fine, but you don't want to be able to not go to McDonald's or go out to eat ever during the month, because all of your income is going to pay your house payment, of course. So you really have to find a comfort level, but that's where you talk to someone like Dallas, who's standing by to answer questions like that. It costs you nothing to see exactly how much you can afford. And it brings me to another question, JR. Let me bring you back in here for a second. So business owners, some business owners have done great through the pandemic, others not so well. Hopefully things are starting to come back. But as a business owner, what do you think is better for them? I know that we should buy a house, not rent a house. But as a business owner, should I buy my physical location or should I rent it?
On the personal side, I would kind of thinking that renting is what it, because the prices have gone crazy.
Oh,
with the
really?
industrial
Commercial,
market.
really?
Yeah. I mean, in the industrial market in Orlando, you're looking at the rent being around $850 a square foot versus $80 a square foot on a building to own. You know, and in the Lakeland area, it's $650 a square foot to rent, where you're looking at $75 to own, and then with the office, it's $28 a square foot is the average in the Orlando area, and $190 for average sale of a office building. So I mean, you know, and again, that part in my mind, you know, it's your business, it's an expense to the business, obviously, and if you're able to do it, you've got something. If you buy it, you're paying yourself now, and that is something that you got to make sure you can do.
Yeah.
But I agree, it is to own, but in today's market, those they're being driven up by the REITs and the private equity groups, and it's hard for the mom and pop investors to jump in.
I'm very curious to see how the prices compare when you look at commercial real estate, industrial real estate, Miami versus Central Florida. And I know that you have an office over in Polk County, I believe.
Lakeland, yes, sir.
But you spend most of your time in Miami, and you were nice enough to bring a couple of listings that you guys have to sort of give us an idea of the price differentials in South Florida versus Central Florida, where we are here today. And let's start in Miami, though. This is Northwest 7th Avenue in Miami. What part of town is this?
This is in Doral. It's basically 4055 Northwest 97th Avenue in Doral, right on the corner. 41st Street is Doral Boulevard. Very, very good in community. Very well known for the resort, for right off the airport. We have very good industrial there where you got all international freight forwarders. It's $28 a square foot, and you get right now it's 2,600 square feet available. The small 2-story, residential type of office complex.
What do you think that would be here? Any idea? Or if that was a listing in Auburndale, it's $28 a foot in Miami. What do you think it would be here? I know it's a tough question.
No, because the office market for Orlando's average is 28.
Really?
A square foot for
Don't
office.
call my
That's
landlord, please.
Okay. No, I know. But in South Florida, well, you're looking at 40. Now, again, they're taking in the downtown corridors. They're taking in the outside residential areas. So it's kind of, and these are numbers I get. I'm a member of the Society of Industrial Office Realtors, and these are numbers that we get from that organization.
I lived in South Beach. I had to get out of there. I
Oh,
wasn't getting a lot done, man.
That's
You know
expensive.
what I mean?
All that.
I was having a lot of fun.
I was
but
going to say, was it the
I wasn't as
expense of
productive.
living there or
Yeah,
the
no.
non-production
Trust
of
me, it was
walking down ocean?
It was that.
You know?
Yeah,
And
the latter,
Collins.
for sure.
Yep.
I always hear, too, when someone's renting an office space like this, they'll say, well, it's triple net. What do you mean when you say triple net? I think that's a confusing term to some people.
Triple net is pretty much everything where the tenant pays the taxes, the insurance, 100% of it, and they pay the exterior maintenance of the building.
Got it.
And the confusing part for some of your viewers when you do go after look into the office or the industrial is when somebody says, oh, it's single net, it's triple net, it's double net. Ask them what that net means.
Right.
Because everybody has, is it electric? Is it utilities? Is it trash? Is it roof?
Yeah.
So just, for someone to say, hey, it's $28 a square foot triple net. Okay.
Yeah, I think the key for you business owners who might be looking to lease spaces, what you need to know is you can have your own agent like JR represent you through this transaction, and it doesn't cost you a single penny. It's almost like if you're buying a house in one of these new development neighborhood type places like a big D.R. Horton. You go there and you have the nice person at the front desk. That's really the agent for the developer, not your agent. I always say take your own agent with you during that transaction. Same exact thing if you are leasing space as a business owner. You need to call someone like JR and take them with you. Cost you nothing, but now they're protecting you. That nice agent is actually representing the landlord. They are not representing you, so keep that in mind. And you have another place here in Auburndale, which is going to help us really compare, I think. This is Hobbs Road in Auburndale, Polk County. Tell me about this property.
This was originally built as a storage facility for files, concrete all the way through, tilt-up walls, two overhead doors, nice dock area. It's for sale and lease. You're looking at $3.5 million for the sale. And then there's it's $550 triple net, which basically in this building means the tenant pays everything from landscaping to roof, and but a very, very nice. It's in a lot of the citrus area, the pulp plants, I believe they call them. So yeah, very, very nice property.
Excellent job. If you're in the market to buy a business or you're in the market to get new space for your business, please call us right now, 407-205-0400. I'll connect you with JR right away. This is Miami or here. He works in both markets too. And by the way, though, if you're looking to buy a house, so you need to call Dallas Lehman first to get pre-approved as well. But it leads me to another question. I think that, again, some renters renting houses right now, renting their primary residence, are afraid of this down payment. I don't have any money for a down payment to buy a house. What is a down payment looking like these days?
Well, one of the most popular programs out there, and I always try to but to help the first-time home buyer take advantage of this program, because it is an outstanding program, is the FHA program. It only requires 3.5% down. Yes, that traditionally is one of the biggest things a first-time home buyer may be a little short of. They've got everything else planned and perfect. Their credit's good, their employment history is good, their cash reserves are always the point where they might want to save a little more. So when I pre-approve somebody, I take them to the maximum level that they can purchase. And they can look at 20% down, 15, 5% down conventional loan. Hey, that if you have enough money and you can do that, that's great. But if not, the safety net for that first-time home buyer is the FHA 3.5% down. But, in this time, Justin, and we've all talked about this, it's very, very important. This is the biggest time, and we've done this a lot for many people. This is the biggest time for people to buy that home. The first-time home buyer right now has all the advantages. They usually, they have some hurdles. Not at this point. Rates are so low that this is the best time they could possibly buy while the rates stay that low.
Yep.
It's not a matter so much anymore of how much is the down payment. Let's get everybody into a home. Let's quit throwing that money away on rent. Hey, what else do you get? You're building equity in your home for your next home, or you want to turn that into an investment home. You get the benefits of tax write-off, of homestead exemption. All of these things where people, as you were just talking about, you may have been in the mode of saving money for 2-3 years because you felt you had to have 20% down or you had to have 10% down. Right now, with those rates being low, this is their best opportunity for their future to take advantage of that.
Totally agree. Dallas Lehman, you have mortgage. Good job, buddy. Can you stick around for the real estate roundtable? I have a bunch of questions coming in.
My
J.R.
pleasure.
Steinbauer, good job. Can you stick around?
One thing I
please?
want to do is just say that I've known Dallas a very long time, and Dallas has as well helped out industrial clients that we know. So it doesn't have to be a real estate mortgage. Talk to Dallas because he can help you on that.
Thank you.
How much did he give you for that?
I'm just not.
I know, I'm just kidding.
He's
All
honest
right.
on that. Yeah,
All right.
happy to.
Good
Happy
job,
to.
good job. All right, really quick, real estate roundtable every Saturday. I answer your questions from throughout the week. If you have questions, go to our Facebook page. You have real estate, ask me a question right there, and I just might answer them next week here on the TV program. All right, Sarah in Claremont, I own a flower shop. Should I rent or buy my office building? What do you think? I think that's for you.
I would definitely buy it.
Buy it.
If it's been cash good to you, and even during this time, I would say take the leap.
Sam in Tampa, I love the show, Justin. I watch on clickorlando.com all the time. What kind of down payment do I need for a second home, a beach house? What do you think,
Well, that's a good one. Here's the distinction between the two rates. A primary residential home rate is always lower than an investment rate or a condo or a vacation condo. What we call them is second home or vacation rates. They're slightly higher. What is the down payment? It depends on what their current PITI is on what they own on their home, because now we have a double gross monthly income to account for. You will now have two payments. You have that primary residence payment, PITI, and now we have to see what you can afford in your ratio. So your down payment will be determined to keep that second PITI on your vacation second or investment property where you get approved. So it's a little more down usually.
Thank you, buddy. Good
Yes,
to
sir.
see you.
My
Great
pleasure.
to meet you, JR.
Same.
Hopefully we can do
Pleasure.
this again soon. Next time
Love
you're
it.
in town, let me know. We're
Appreciate
happy
it.
to get together. Most importantly, thank you for joining us here today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If you're looking to sell your home, I'll show it right here on this program if you would like. Just give me a call, 407-205-0400. If you want to start your house hunt, you need the pre-approval letter. Same phone number. Dallas will get you connected right away. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and we'll see you next weekend for You Have Real Estate. Good job, boys.